And we're live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. Aramis, how are you, sir? We're not recording. Don't worry.
Yeah, I'm good. Hey, evening, everybody, to the pre-show show.
The pre-show of the show. This is not the show. This is the pre-show. Not to be confused with pre of anything else. So, yes. Let's see here. That's good. Going to close Discord because I've realized Discord is an incredible resource hog. So, fun times. So, alrighty. You've got your recording software open?
Recording software is open.
Oh, wow. All right, mine too. Oh, let me enable the tracks, which I did not do last week. And let me make sure that the audio on that track is good.
I'm in danger.
Perfect. Nothing like a little Ralph Wingham to get the game going. By the way, I want it noted for the record. We may not mention this on the air of the real show, but I am not drinking my triple bock that I got on Saturday, which is like an 11%er. All right.
So what? This is like what, 10.9er?
I have no idea. I grabbed it out of the bottom of the refrigerator. But, just so you know, that's what I do for you and how much I love this show and the professionalism that we have, sir. I'm not going to drink 12% on this broadcast. I'm saving that for CommanderCraft.
Go ahead and play that sound clip again.
Shit. I dropped my headset.
Go ahead and play that sound clip one more time.
What was that? I'm sorry. My headset.
Play that sound clip again, because that doesn't matter.
Oh. Which one? This one?
I'm in danger.
Yep.
All right. So I'm on the red button. You're on the red button?
I will be in a moment. I'm on the red button.
All right. Let me go and get my... Now, we're going to do things a little different tonight, too, is that during the sponsorship, I'm actually going to go ahead and open the gift box that Kerwin sent us, because I think that's a great thing to do since we got that. So,
sure.
So the pre-show will be a little bit longer, but we'll lower our hats a bit. We'll talk Easter and stuff. All right, let's do this. Red button, red button. 3, 2, 1. Click. Greetings, salutations, and welcome to the PlanesTalkers podcast, the show by casuals for casuals. I'm your host, Will Benson, joined as always by my effervescent co-host who is always hopping down the bunny trail, Aramis Perez. Aramis, how are you tonight, sir?
I'm not sure how to react to that one.
Wasn't that good? I wasn't sure what I was going to say tonight, but let's get right into...
Untap, upkeep, and draw.
All right, untap, upkeep, and draw. Before we do anything tonight, we want to remind you that this episode and every episode of the PlanesTalkers podcast is sponsored by Kerwin's Game Store. Kerwin's Game Store is New York State's premier source for collectible card games, tabletop games, miniatures, comic books, retro video games, and toys. With their clean, open gaming areas available to everyone at no charge someday when COVID ever leaves us. But we're hearing maybe the fall if things go good. It won't be the fall because I hear things are going bad. Anyway, Kerwin provides a fun and inviting atmosphere for new and experienced gamers alike. With locations in both Catskill, New York, and the Poughkeepsie Galleria in Poughkeepsie, New York, Kerwin's wants to remind you that they are the best place in gaming. Now, they have an awesome website, KGS Online. That's Kite Go Samuel Online.com is their website. You can get everything, Strixhaven pre-orders, all sorts of crazy stuff there. And if you use the promo code PlanesTalkers at checkout, PlanesTalkers at checkout, you will get 5% off your order. So, and while we're doing this, believe it or not, I don't know, did you get yours today? Because I got my box.
So, I did get my box.
They
today.
sent to us a care package for participating in their first online event a few weeks ago. So I'm going to open mine now. I did unseal it, but I didn't open it. So, because I want to see, this is what Kerwin's does. And by the way, they're the ones who are going to be sending out our, when we do our Strixhaven Win-A-Box contest in the next couple of weeks, they're the ones who send it out. And I think this is the kind of stuff you can expect to see here. So let's see what we got. And I can't put it on camera because then you can't see my lovely face. So we got a couple of Kerwin stickers. All right, rock and roll. Looks like a Kerwin's tote bag.
Yeah, it's like a drawstring bag of some kind.
Okay, I'm down. I'm sure that's something that the kids use.
Them whippersnappers.
Them young whippersnappers. Ooh, yes! I'm out of sleeves. Yay! 100 Kerwin's Game Store sleeve. Is it 100? Yeah, good. 100.
Yeah, I think 250 packs. Yeah.
He put this out on the website. Little car air freshener that will never get used in my car. Oh, he sent us 2 of them.
Yeah.
Ooh.
One's black ice, one's new car.
It's almost like he knew that I use red dice. Did you get red?
I got bright orange, which is great because tonight's opening day for the Mets.
Oh, jeepers. I'm so sorry for you.
They're winning right now.
Oh, good. I've lost my Kerwin's pin, so another Kerwin's pin. I should put that on actually right now. And it looks like quite a few packs. 3 Kaldheim and 2 Core 21s. So I'll open those later. So thank you, Kerwin's, for that. Now, I got that just for going 1 and 2 in their online event last week. So very, very cool. So that's the type of stuff you can expect from Kerwin's Game Store. Again, kgsonline.com. We also want to remind you that we have patrons, and we want to recognize our Planeswalker level patrons. That's Brian, David, Jonathan, Johnny, Bell, Anthony, Steve, Mark, George, Josh, Ian, and Randy. These guys help everything out in so many ways. We're very, very thankful for them. We have a call this week, Saturday at 6 p.m. We'll have a Zoom call. I'm going to put it out through the patrons. So make sure you check your email. If you're not getting patron emails, let me know through the Discord. I'll also put it in the Discord chat for the patron level. We're going to talk about the Strixhaven winner box. We're going to make the final determination there. Now, I do have a poll up on our Discord, discord.planestalkerspodcast.com, as to what we want to play. So far, it looks like Standard is winning that race. So it looks like we may be playing, just going back to old-fashioned Standard. I'm down. So while we watch, we don't do anything. So very excited for that. So again, if you want to be a patron, and again, there's a lot more bonus stuff. Your first come, first serve for CommanderCraft. Your first come, first serve for anything. We're going to start working you guys more into the shows as the weeks go on, especially for the weeks where, Standard news isn't huge. So again, to be a part of the show, to help the show out, we really do appreciate it. It is patreon.com/planestalkers. So that also brings up another thing. Like last couple of weeks in the pre-show, we've been talking about CommanderCraft and Steve and Anthony. But however, their lives have just they've gotten so busy between switching jobs and there's engagements, and they had COVID and tech issues of every kind that for right now, we all kind of got together and decided that we want to bring CommanderCraft back in-house. So starting Wednesday, the Playcast is going back to CommanderCraft. So that is our Wednesday night show is CommanderCraft. That's going to be me, Aramis, and 2 up-and-comers, probably Anthony and Steve, playing Commander. Now, my Calamax deck, I do believe, is the champion right now, so I have to play that at least 2 more times if I win. At least 1 more time.
2 more times.
Well, no.
You win.
I have to at least 1 more, at most 2 more. So, and I imagine there'll be some people coming for that, which will be fun. So you want to tune in for that Wednesday night at 7. We're very excited. And Anthony and Steve are they're still going to be a part of CommanderCraft. They're still going to be a part of the weekly shows and stuff. And when they're ready, when their schedule frees up, man, we can't wait to come alongside them for their podcast because they had a lot of great ideas and we're excited for that too. But for right now, we're going to bring CommanderCraft back home under the PlanesTalkers. So, and we're going to use that for the dead weeks because we realized in the past year, there's about I'd say probably 5 or 6 good dead weeks where there's nothing going on in Standard. We're not getting previews yet. Usually it's right before preview season. Mm-hmm. So we're gonna start working on some CommanderCraft content for the main podcast as well. So we're not going to stick to just Standard. We never have. However, that's still going to be our focus. But on weeks where Standard's not doing anything, we're going to dabble in CommanderCraft, and I'll work up a theme and all of that. So we're kind of excited. We got a lot going on. But, it is Untap, and I always untap during Untap. So today I am untapping an artisanal daily triple IPA from the Artisanal Brewery. And this is, I don't know where they're at. Oh, Saratoga Springs. These guys are local. All right. So it's a triple IPA. This won't end horribly at all for anybody.
I'm scared.
What's it say on the side?
Oh, boy.
Is that a 9 or a 10? It's somewhere between 1 and 10.
Oh, great.
That smells good, though. But Aramis, how the hell are you? Wow, that's really good and smooth.
I'm doing all right. I'm doing okay. Got my first dose of the COVID vaccine on Friday. Really
I get mine
excited about
Thursday.
that. There you go. Yep. So much more protected against this godforsaken virus than we were going into the beginning of the year, which is always good. Played a little bit of Magic over the weekend. No
With
big
who?
events or anything like that.
With
Just
the wife?
on Arena.
Oh, okay.
No, Arena. Just a little bit of Arena, a little bit of casual play. Just to have something to do, because it's always fun to just fire up Arena and play some Magic. They had the historic Brawl event that was going on earlier in the week. I played a lot of that.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I played a little bit myself. I mean, it was Easter, so it was cool. We went to Syracuse and saw some friends of ours. But it was really also an opportunity for us to kind of take a little trip north from Syracuse once we got there. So we spent the early afternoon with them. We went to Dave & Buster's. Tip, whatever you want to call it. Don't eat at Dave & Buster's. Dear God, never eat at Dave & Buster's. It was bad. The burger was cardboard, and it just didn't end well. But then we went up north to Oswego, and we saw the boy for the first time since he got there in late January. So he shaved his face for us, thankfully, because he was looking a bit too shaggy for my wife's taste. But got up there, we hung out with him, we took him to dinner at Ruby Tuesdays, we had a good time. Hey, Walt, how are you, buddy? It's good to see you. He's now an East Coaster. So it was nice to see him. It was really, really good to see him. And he seems a lot more, he's his second year. And even though he lost almost a year in college because of this thing, because he basically spent the fall semester at home and half the spring semester last year. So the kid hasn't really experienced college yet, and he's having a blast. So shout out to my boy Nicholas. But other than that, we had people over here yesterday for some ham and some Polish cuisine. So there was a lot of boiling involved. She gets so upset. Ow! Woman! It's professional. Stop throwing things. We're going to have to edit that. But, there was a lot of things like pierogies, and she had kielbasa, and, they boiled everything, and it was good. I had ham because, I've always found it kind of funny that, I love ham, so I had ham. And then, that was pretty much my weekend, though. So it was a good time. I didn't get much arena in, but
yesterday was Sunday.
Yes,
just Sunday.
Well, it's a big day for us, but it was good, and we got to see her parents, which we don't do very often. We pretty much see them only at the big holidays. We won't see them again now until probably Mother's Day, because her dad, he only has one leg, so it's like getting him in and out of the car and stuff. It's like, oh. Back-breaking labor, but a labor of love. So that's pretty much on tap. Our upkeep. So we're going to go over what we're going to talk about today. We're talking about Strixhaven. Obviously, everybody's talking about Strixhaven. You listen to any other podcast, I'm sure they mention Strixhaven as well. Why? Because it's designed to give us content. So we're going to go through. We've got a few previews that we kind of curated ourselves today, and then we're going to give kind of our overall impressions of the various thing,
I'm sorry, I don't do impressions. My training is in psychiatry.
I love that line. But we're going to give our various opinions and stuff about the whole set as a whole. Talk a little bit. We're going to touch a little bit on the art issues that have kind of come out in the last couple of days or the last week or so with that. And then we might fall into a combat. We might not. We don't know. And then main 2, we're going to talk about the state of standard. So that's probably going to be a quick touch on topic where we just kind of go, yep, these are the decks. And then the arena cube is going on. So that's kind of what our show's going to be. Let's get right into the main phase.
Main phase.
All right, main phase. So Strixhaven has been completely spoiled.
Yep.
Again, I'm
quick.
like you. I miss the days of not really knowing everything.
Yeah, I like the last few sets up until this, like maybe this one and the one before, like the spoiler season felt like it was stretched out a little longer.
Yeah, this one
Like you
was
got like a
almost
handful
quick.
of cards every day. This one they did the whole set in a week.
Hmm.
And now this week they're doing all the previews for the different commander decks because
Which
there's
is
5
cool.
of those, which is great, which is cool. But it's like I agree. It's like I like the days when you went into like my first pre-release was Invasion. I had no idea what was in the set. So you get your cards and you're like, oh my god, what the hell does this do? This is awesome. And then you realize it's the worst card in the set, and you
Yeah.
get crushed by something way better, and you're like, oh well, that was fun. And it was fun because you had no idea.
So yeah, and I mean, so all of the main cards of the main set are out. Like you said, the rest of the week's going to be dealing with Commander, which could very well be half of our show next week is talking about the various Commander decks, because we'll go through our, just to pull the curtain back, as we've done every set since literally our first show when we were spoiling Ravnica Allegiance. We'll talk about pre-release primer, like give you some tips about things that you might pull in your sealed or whatever. Because, well, wait, is next week pre-release? Isn't next week, is it? It's 2 weeks
week after next is pre-release, and we're gonna kind of actually be going back to our roots with this one a little bit because they're gonna have seeded packs again.
Yeah, I know. So it's actually 2 weeks out. So next week we probably will spend a lot more time on Commander. But yes, I've got my pre-orders are in. My doctors came in. So, I've got a few, I've got some stuff that I'm getting for each one. During the release day, though, just to pull the curtain back to April 30th, we're going to have our showdown, man, collector box showdown again. So that's just stuff that's coming. So Strixhaven previews. This is the fun time to be here. So it's what everybody's talking about these days. Strixhaven is looking pretty okay. I don't know about you, but we'll get
yeah. We'll talk.
So I'm going to start things off tonight. My first card, and I love that we kind of both picked you picked an uncommon, a rare, and an epic, or epic, jeepers. Mythic.
Mythic.
Yeah.
There you go. Remember the game
I
you're
actually
playing,
picked 2 rares and a mythic, but I mean they're kind of one and the same. So anyway, my first card that I'm previewing tonight is the double major. It's green and a blue. First of all, Simic again gets all the damn toys.
We're gonna be talking a lot of Simic tonight, guys. So if you don't like Simic, buckle up. This is not going to be fun.
I'm dying of not surprised here. So double major, and if you're watching the stream online, obviously we've got it on the screen, but we will read it as well. It's a 2 converted mana, or 2 mana value spell. It's a green and a blue. That's it. Green and a blue. Instant. It basically what it reads is copy target creature spell you control, except it isn't legendary if the spell is legendary. That's not going to get abused at all. So basically, the reason I chose this was, and you're going to see there's a theme here. First of all, unless somebody's got 2 counter spells sitting in the back pocket, you're getting probably something monstrously out. You may get 2. But like this card is ridiculously valued for the fact that it really is citing legends, like saying that you can play a legendary and have 2 legends out.
Vorinclex.
Yeah, 2 Vorinclex. Oh my god, 2 Vorinclexes?
Yeah.
Damn it, how did you not choose this card?
I wanted you to have some fun.
Look at this, Walter. Yeah, that'll be insane. You are not wrong, my friend.
I mean, and gone are the days where you're like, but it costs 8 mana. But we're talking Simic.
It doesn't matter. It's 2.
Doesn't matter. It adds 2 mana to the cost of whatever creature you're casting.
Yeah.
So like,
To have
ideally,
2.
ideally, like, you're casting this on some, 6 mana for 2 questing beasts. That's good, right?
8 mana for 2 Vorinclexes.
8 mana for 2 Vorinclexes. I mean, all right. Oh god.
And don't even get me started on Commander.
Yeah.
6 mana for 2 Atraxa. Okay.
It's a good thing that the copy doesn't like copy cast triggers and stuff. Could you imagine 2 Zakamas? I know it's not in color, but still.
Fuck.
But even still, like even just 2 Uros. I mean, you're spending an extra 2 mana, you get an extra draw trigger, extra land trigger.
It's ridiculous. 2
It's a good card.
Omnaths.
2 Omnaths, yeah.
I mean, think about the most. Ready for this? Oh, it's creature. Never mind. Not 2 Okos. But I mean, think about the most ridiculous cards, creature cards that are out there in any format. Okay, any format.
2 Phyrexian Dread. Oh wait.
Yeah. Just think about those. 2 Emrakuls.
Mm-hmm.
2 Ugin. Well, not Ugin, but yeah,
Ulamog.
it's just 2 Ulamogs. Like, it's ridiculous.
I mean, luckily, when you're talking about Titans, I mean,
yeah,
one of those generally wins you the game anyway, so that's just as completely win more. But yeah,
I kind of feel like, especially like Vorinclex, which can't be countered anyway. It's an automatic 2 for. Oh no, which one can't be countered? Am I thinking quest? There's a there's a major beast that can't be countered. This spell can't be countered.
I don't remember which one it is now. There's so much good stuff.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Like, if I was going to put a tar, and I'm not saying it should be. Now, realize this, folks. I'm not saying it should be. But if I was going to put a card that will probably be targeted by the crybaby whiners of the world to be banned, this would be one of them. Almost assuredly. I'm saying
luckily,
from the crybabies, not deservedly so.
I don't think so. Only because it copies creatures, and those are the easiest permanents to destroy. But that being said, there are a lot of shenanigans that this card is capable of doing.
I mean, ramping alone. All right, you cast 2 Azuzas, and
No, that doesn't really mean.
2. All right, 2 Nyx Bloom Agents.
2 Nyx Bloom Ancients would be pretty disgusting. So I tap a land, I get 9 for each land. Okay.
Seriously,
I'm gonna tap my Lotus Bloom here for let me see, 27 mana.
So that was my first card. I was like, and I thought about saving it for last, but I'm just like, let's get this right out of the way. I do like it'll be in every blue green deck I've got. I don't see why you don't run 4 of them.
if you have a creature based deck and the creature has good ETB or really good value while it's on the board, again, Vorinclex.
Yes.
Yeah, there's no reason if you're in Simic not to play at least a couple copies of this card, because why the hell not?
Exactly. And as far as sideboard goes, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, because I mean, it basically means, all right, you want to kill this creature, you have to kill it twice, or I basically just have 8 copies of whatever the best creature in my deck is at any one time.
And again, it's I'm looking at a lot of this stuff in this set, and I almost think they're like, yes, we're gonna help Simic and screw you, Control. Like, because again, it makes something uncounterable almost, unless you have 2 counters in your hand. The set one of these 2 is getting out.
Yeah.
So I was a big fan. So
if they counter the creature that this targets, Double Major has no effect.
Copy target creature spell you control. The spell's on the stack.
Right, but when it resolves, it has no legal target. If you counter the creature spell, so if you cast Vorinclex,
how does that happen? Though?
If you cast Vorinclex, well, Vorinclex is on the stack, you maintain priority, and again, this is a timing thing. If you maintain priority and cast this in response to your own creature spell, and they counter the creature spell, then the counter spell resolves first, countering the creature. Double Major tries to resolve. There is no longer a target on the stack for it to count.
Right, you would wait until they cast their counter.
You wait until they cast their counter, and then you Double Major it.
The way that's what I mean. The way to play this, guys, is you cast your creature. Any response? No. Good. But
you can't do that though.
That's right, because that passes priority back.
You have to, if they don't have a response to it,
okay,
your spell resolves.
All right.
So you kind of have to either.
So I'm misinterpreting that, but I honestly,
it's crazy potential. The problem is you have to time it right.
Right.
You have to hope they have some other random response to it,
and
or you can Or you even cast some other random spell first,
Yeah.
or some other random effect first to trick them into countering your creature, saying, "Oh, well, in response to this activation or whatever, I'm going
Right.
to counter your creature spell." Then you go, "Oh, double major. I'm just
Yeah.
going to copy it."
Or just, if you see somebody, if you're playing a counter deck, if you're playing Azorius Control or Esper Control, you see them foretell on turn 2 for 2. And, 9 times out of 10, it's one of two cards. It's either Path to grabbing cards, or it's,
Behold the
counter
multiverse
spell.
or saw it coming.
Yeah. So basically, that tells you right away to give it a shot. So I'm still a big fan. I think this will be in a lot.
No,
of
it's a really good card. So
Yeah.
you have to be careful with the timing. That's
Yep.
all.
So your first one.
Speaking of control,
It's almost like I planned it.
well, there's a reason that I picked the card that we're going to be talking about next.
I know, I figured as much.
The card is Humiliate. It is an uncommon from Strixhaven. It's a sorcery for a white and a black. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a non-land card from it. That player discards that card. Put a +1/+1 counter on a creature you control.
So it's Thoughtseize with an FU.
It's Thoughtseize. It's Thought Erasure. it's Agonizing Remorse. It's that card that I love to play. I love to play with. I hate to play against.
Yes.
And it doesn't matter like what kind of a player you are. If you're playing this card in your deck, you love it. The second you see it cast against you, you're like, "Oh, this is the worst card in the history of the game. It needs to be banned."
I know.
If there is a dedicated control like tap out control strategy, this card will be there. I'm not sure that deck exists right now. If it does, you'll see 4 of this in every single version of it.
I think you're going to see 4 of it in anybody playing Esper, period. Or White Ors or Orzhov, or whatever the hell the school is. Can we just agree that I don't want to learn 5 new names? So it's Boros, Orzhov. It took me long enough to learn those names.
Silver Quill.
I know, but this card's pretty. Yeah, from
it's
a control
good.
standpoint,
it's a solid control card. Yeah, it's a solid control card. It gives you information. You
it's
discard
filling
their
a
best
hole at rotation because Agonizing Remorse leaves, and then there would be no hand disruption at this point.
Not at this level where you take whatever you want.
Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, like I said, it's a good card to play, terrible card to play against.
And the +1 counter is like, damn it.
It's and it's negligible. You don't need a creature on the board.
Yeah.
To cast this spell. So this is it's there's no downside on this besides just the mana cost being white black. That's the only downside. Because if you don't have a creature in play, you still get to look at their hand and make them discard a card because it doesn't target.
Exactly.
So, it's you're going to be seeing a lot of this card, but only if control reasserts itself, which it really hasn't been able to do lately, but you never know. I mean, there's a lot of different cards coming in with this set. We'll see what happens. But if it does show up, if control becomes a viable archetype again and white and black are in the colors, you're going to see Humiliate. So get ready for it.
Yep, absolutely. So, yeah, I like it. I'll play it if I play Esper again, but I mean, it's going to piss me off. I can just tell. This is going to be a piss me off card.
Yep.
All right, so my next card, again, speaking of, hey, I like copying things today.
Yeah, I'm noticing the theme with your stuff.
I decided to put in, well, it's an unusual because it's colorless. It's the Wandering Archaic. So it is it's a colorless, creature. He's an avatar. So 5 mana value. See, I'm trying.
5 mana value. Good job.
5 converted mana cost.
Mana value.
5 colorless mana. And it's a 4/4 creature, and it says whenever an opponent casts an instant or sorcery spell, they may pay 2. If they don't, you may copy that spell, and you may choose new targets for the copy. So this is 100% a screw you control. You're paying 5. Or I'm going to copy your counter and counter your counter.
Or even just their card draw spell.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Oh,
or their discard spell or their creature removal spell.
This is a really good... The cost is a little high for a 4/4, but what it does once it gets out is ridiculous.
I mean, 5 mana 4/4 is like... This is a limited card.
Okay.
I think this is a card that's not going to see much play, I think, in Constructed, because it's 5 mana for a 4/4 that doesn't. I mean, unfortunately, we're at the point where it doesn't do anything when it enters the battlefield. Therefore, it's bad, which sucks because it's a really interesting ability.
I think it will see play in mono red.
Nobody
likes the 5-drop in there, like the bird. Like I've been reading a bunch of stuff on it. They're like, yeah, you got to have it because you need something to finish, and what it gives you as far as the treasure tokens is good, but a 5-drop, for that is a little bit too high to do. This, on the other hand, a 5-drop that's going to stop counters for your late game for as far as Embercleave goes.
It doesn't. I don't think it stops that. I don't know.
I don't think it stops it, but it's going to hit their mana base.
I think it's too clunky for something like mono red. I think this deck doesn't have a home. This card doesn't have a home yet. And
hey, Josh, how are you? And Walter says he likes it, but it's expensive, but could be a great card.
I think it's expensive. I think it's clunky. I think it's good and limited, like I said, because it adds that tax onto removal spells and card draw spells, and it makes them really think, okay, well, do I want to let them have this too, or do I have to pay the extra mana?
And because of the fact that that's why I like the card.
It basically what it says is that
puts you in a decision.
It basically just says the first removal spell you're going to cast is getting pointed at me, which is fine. So it does protect your other creatures in that regard. I just feel like for constructed, again, unfortunately, and this is nothing against the card itself. It's just where we are.
I'm pretty sure
meta
the card's going to be okay, though, bro. I mean, it's got to go to therapy, but I mean, it'll be all right.
Well, it's because it doesn't do anything on its own.
Right. I'm with you
in that respect. It doesn't generate value. That's what it's all about now, is generating value. It doesn't gain you any cards. It doesn't impact the board state in any meaningful way when it enters the battlefield. It has the ability itself is very interesting. I think it's really cool. I would love to see this card see play. I'm just not sure where it fits. I know mono red definitely isn't it.
All right.
Because mono red, if they're spending 5 mana for something in mono red, it needs to be impacting you immediately, either with haste, dealing a bunch of damage, or something along those lines. And this doesn't do that.
I will say this: the other side of the card is a sorcery, which is interesting. The MDFCs are they're becoming a little bit more funner.
That might be its saving grace that it's an MDFC.
Well, yeah, especially because you can cast it, and then the graveyard really is becoming just a second hand for a lot of people. Returning a creature spell from the grave to the battlefield, so you play this for 3 and find a way to return it. That's probably where it's going to see a lot of the play. The sorcery is not that. I mean, the sorcery is almost a commander sorcery. It's almost like, here's some politics. Each player looks at the top 5 cards of their library. Oh, it's 3 colorless, by the way. Each player looks at the top 5 cards of their library, reveals a land card and or an instant or sorcery card from among them, then puts the cards they revealed this way into their hand and the rest on the bottom of their library in a random order, and then each player gains 3 life. That's a politic card. I don't like that it doesn't target a player. I can't be like, not you, Steve. Aramis, I want to help you out. But
yeah, no, it's a card selection card. It digs you deeper into your library. It helps everybody else. It's very symmetrical.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how much I like it either, because
I just don't think it'll ever see play. I would always just play the 5. I'd hold it in my hand to play the 5.
Yeah, because it puts you down a card, even if you find something.
Right. Even if you're finding 2 things.
Possibly, not guaranteed. Yeah. I mean, obviously, you're probably building your deck with that in mind, but there's no guarantee. You could brick.
And if you get 2, the way I'm reading this too, tell me I'm wrong, reveals a land card and or an instant or sorcery card from among them. So if you find 2 lands, you got to pick a land.
Yeah,
if you find 3 sorceries, you got to pick a sorcery.
Pick one sorcery. Yeah. So the problem is that there's the possibility that you cast this, you brick, and single player or multiplayer game, each of your opponents hits 2 cards. You've let them draw 2 cards. You get nothing, and they all gain 3
Not just
life.
draw 2 cards, choose 2 cards.
Yeah, but that's in the basic sense. In the boiling it down, they're drawing 2 cards. It's the best 2 cards out of whatever 5 they looked at that fit what this card is saying. But it's still, they're +2. You're -1.
I think the backside will see play in limited, maybe Commander.
Maybe Commander,
because you want to be like, everybody wins. You love
this
doing that.
This is definitely a Commander card.
Yeah,
this is a Commander card for sure.
Yeah. So, all right, let's go on to yours.
All right, so this next one I think we'll see play in Constructed. I think
Oh,
we'll see play in
you're
Standard.
not fracking kidding.
Demagoth Titan. It is a 11/10 for 4 mana value. 4 green-black Golgari or whatever.
It's hybrid.
The green-black
Green or black
four
mana.
black-green hybrid mana for an 11/10. Whenever Demagoth Titan attacks or blocks, sacrifice a creature. So, this is Rotting Regisaur's big brother.
Yes, I will give you that.
This card is deceptively good.
Yes.
I don't think anybody's going to be sleeping on this card the way they sort of slept on Regisaur at the beginning. I mean, very quickly people realized it was actually a very good card.
Josh is saying he loves it. He's in the chat.
Demagoth Titan is just a friggin' conquer. Thank God this thing doesn't have like Death Touch or Trample or whatever nonsense keyword evasion ability you wanted to put on it. Not that these colors don't have access to granting it that, but it's a huge monster for basically no mana. It's got green in the mana cost, so you know there's a way you can get this out on turn 2 or 3. And if you're sacrificing creatures and you're attacking or blocking, guess what? Your opponent's probably doing that too, because otherwise they die.
What is green, black, white?
Abzan.
I don't know. Abzan tokens?
Could be Abzan tokens. I mean, green and black in this set makes tokens.
Yeah. Oh, it does.
They make
In this
pests.
set, you're right. Yeah.
They make pests. So this is on theme for what the set likes to do. Green-black likes to sacrifice anyway because it's life and death.
And then you throw a ton of white in that does tokens already.
Don't even need the white. I
don't know. I think you want to have as many ways to create tokens as possible for the value.
It's because of the mana cost. You don't want to go 3 colors with this because it's either going to be 4 black, 4 green, some combination thereof, and you're going to need to hit your mana perfectly to get that out as early as you want. So going 3 colors is just hard.
Of double and triple mana right now.
But it's the problem. It's about consistency.
Right.
It's the consistency. If you want this out consistently, you want this to be either mono black, mono green, or black green at the worst.
I think you're gonna see an abs. I think somebody's gonna put together an abs in deck. I do because the value.
I'm not saying they won't.
Yeah, but
I'm not saying they won't. I'm just saying it wouldn't be as good or efficient as a 2 or 1 colored version of the same strategy.
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
I think with the mana base where we're at, because we're close to rotation. We're 2 sets away.
Yeah, and we're losing lands.
We're losing lands in rotate. Now post rotation, we may not see abs. But I'm saying for right now. And the cards we have from Core 21, as well as some of the cards, Jesus, Throne of Eldraine. Okay, the Beast is gonna have fun with this. But I mean, I think you'll see an Abzan deck. I think you will see a green and black. You're not wrong, but I think people are gonna stack the deck and splash white just to be able, especially because isn't there a green, white, black Triumph?
There is a green, white, black Triumph. It's ETB tapped.
Yeah,
this is what I'm looking at is that with a card like this, because it's so heavily color reliant. If there was even 1 or 2, like with 1 or 2 of those pips were colorless instead,
right,
I'd be all on board with what you're saying. But because it's 4 pips,
but there's no way to not have colorless mana. And if you're playing, if the only source of white or even red, if you go red, black, green,
that's not a good idea.
But if the only sources you have for red also provide black, there's no cost.
Yeah, but it's the deck building restriction, because the more you're doing that, the more you're taking away from what the deck wants to do, because you're spending so much of your resources fixing your mana instead of advancing your strategy. That's the problem.
I think
that's where I'm coming from.
Yeah,
you want to be with a card like this, especially with a card like this, you want to be as efficient as possible because you want this bad boy down on turn 3.
Yeah,
you want this down early, and you can't do that if your land's coming to play tapped.
No, you can't do that. But all right, so you get it out on turn 3, but on turn 4 you play something that creates you tokens so that when he attacks, you need it. I'm sorry, yeah. You
probably played Mana
start
Dorks.
attacking.
You probably played Mana Dorks to get it out on turn 3.
Right. Exactly.
You have to, because there's no artifact ramp, and there's not as much land ramp for 2 mana.
Well, there's some.
I mean, there's a card, and there's even a card in the set that helps with that. But all of the tokens in this set are green black.
Right.
There's some white black. All the colors create their own tokens, but green black is really where it is. But if it was in Rakdos, like
that's Anthony saying,
like Anthony's suggesting, that would mean you're casting this for 4 black mana. That's the
Right.
thing. You could put this in a black-white token deck, or a green-white token deck, or
Okay.
a black-red token deck. But that's if you want to go black and green, you can't go with a third color because of the way this is costed. And I think that's on purpose.
Okay.
But either way, regardless, you land this thing and you can protect it for a couple of turns. Game can be over real
Game
quick.
over quick. Yeah.
Game over real fast.
Yeah. So my next one is another Simic. Now, this is my last one here. You had the Elder Dragon last week, so I thought this week I'd bring one. So this is Tanazir Quandrix. He is the Simic, or what the hell?
Quandrix.
Quandrix, yeah. The Quandrix House Elder Dragon. He comes in for a green, blue, and 3 colorless, so 5 mana value. Flying and trample. When Tanazir Quandrix enters the battlefield, double the number of 1/1 counters on target creature you control. Whenever he attacks, you may have the base power and toughness of other creatures you control become equal to Tanazir Quandrix's power and toughness until end of turn.
Yeah.
I love that card. That
this
will
card
be
does
in
a
my
lot of
Atraxa
things.
deck. It's designed for my Atraxa deck.
This card does a lot of things, and it's I love the design of all 5 Elder Dragons.
I do too,
really
and,
think they did
the
a great
borderless
job.
is what I mean when they did it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the art's fantastic.
Yeah. So I like this card. Okay, it's a 4/4 flying trample, sure, for 5. But
That's good.
everything else it does, it's buffing my other creatures. It's going to put, you're going to want this in a deck that's also going to put counters on. Oh, hey, you know what? So cast Tanazir Quandrix, and then why don't you go ahead and cast Double Major?
Well, actually, you cast Vorinclex first, and
Yeah.
then you cast this.
Yeah.
And cast
Oh,
Double
there you go.
Major.
Yeah, even better. It's like there's many, many, many ways to skin this cat.
Or you cast that first, and then you double major on Vorinclex, because then it's that's a lot of counters.
Oh, that's a whole lot of. That's a lot of math.
Yeah.
There's many, many maths happening in this set now.
I would make sure you're putting counters on Tanazir if at all possible.
That's what I'm figuring. That's why I was like, you double major it so that you can put some counters on Tanazir, so that then.
Well, you have to find a way to put a counter on one of them first, because he doesn't put counters on him himself. He just doubles the number that's already there.
That's true. Yeah.
So Stonecoil Serpent.
Stonecoil Serpent works.
Yeah. So you cast that for 4, and then you do that.
And then
it's an
there's like
8/8.
there's the thing, and then sack it. There's the thing that says, what is it? The it's the artifact there, Ikoria. Take
the
all the
Oswald.
counters off something and put it on something else.
Mm-hmm.
So there's many ways to skin this cat. I just like it because, again, I think it's a really, really great Elder Dragon. I like the artwork. I like what it does. I do think it's going to see play in Commander. I don't know how much it'll see in Limited. It might be the finisher in Limited. Or
In
not
limited,
Limited.
in limited, it's good.
In Constructed, I mean. In Limited,
Constructed we'll
you
see.
open this, you're playing it.
It's all the Elder Dragons are limited bombs.
Yeah. But I think in Constructed, I don't know that you're going to see this. We might see somebody try to do a 5-color Elder Dragon, set deck, but it won't do well.
Well, I mean, I guess we might as well move on, because you're
Yeah.
talking about double encounters. I think your card works really well with my last card.
I know, that's what I was going to say.
And I'm actually thinking that my card is probably one of the best cards in the set.
No. I'm going to actually disagree with you right there. Your card is absolutely the best card in the set.
So, body of research. 3 green, 3 blue, sorcery.
So it takes you
6
gotta
mana.
have the right set.
It's Simic. It's whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Create a 0/0 green and blue fractal creature token. Put X +1/+1 counters on it, where X is the number of cards in your library. What?
I'm in danger.
So with your typical 60 card deck, you've drawn 7 cards to begin the game. Say you don't draw an extra card past your normal number, for the rest of, up until this point, and you're not really ramping. So turn 6, you've drawn 6 more cards. So that's 13 cards you've drawn. Yeah, this is a 6 mana 47/47.
Let me see if I can make this a little different for you. So instead, you're playing Commander. And hey, I'm going to tutor on turn 3. to find this card. Say you're playing a green, blue, black commander of some sort, or Yarok, or whatever the hell its name is. And hey, let's do this. And so now it's coming in as a, we'll say 88.
Some obscenely large number for something that costs 6 mana. Now, it has no evasion.
No.
It dies to removal.
It dies to
token.
board wipe.
Dies to board wipe, all that stuff. It does have blue in its mana cost. It does have green in its mana cost, which means, stuff like Heroic Intervention. There's counter spells. There's all sorts of, Veil of Summer, all sorts of ways to give it hexproof / indestructible / just flat up, nope, I'm countering that. And then it's also, again, green, so, I don't know, trample. Oh, blue, I don't know, flying, unblockable, just straight up kill you.
Bring out the angel that gives it hexproof. That would help.
Yeah, give it hex. I mean, I understand why they... Obviously, it's costed the way that they did. It costs as much as it does. And they didn't give it any abilities because reasons. But if you're able to basically untap with this, you really should be winning the game at this point.
Yep.
I really think so. I mean, your opponent would absolutely have to have something with first strike and or death touch and or indestructible in order to stop this thing, unless you have a way to give it evasion, on turn 7, which also again is probably going to be earlier because green. Just, I mean, this is absurd. Just granted, it can only be so big to start.
Right.
But then there's ways in the set to double its counters. Oh, I don't know, Tanager Quandrix? Make it a 90-something?
And my problem, here's the thing. It's not really a problem. But, okay, they go and design a card like this. And I couldn't help thinking, the minute you sent this to me today, and I read it 2 days ago, when I was looking through stuff at my alone time.
And you were like, what the hell?
Well, honestly, you want to know what I was like? What the hell? Because the reason you say you're not going to print and standardize and bring into standard the fetch lands is because you don't want us searching our libraries. However, counting our libraries apparently is okay. Like, I'm sorry, it'll take me longer to count my library than it will for me to find a mountain or an island. Like,
and then heaven forbid, everybody's not going to remember to count it and keep it in the same order.
Yeah.
Because some people are going to be like, they're going to be piling it, putting it in a pile, and going, oh, wait, halfway through, shit, I got to go back, put these back in the right order, and then count again. Well, guess what? Judge, he just stacked his deck.
Yep. This card might see a ban at some point.
I don't think it'll see a ban. It's too expensive. It's too mana intensive.
The same thing about every other card that's been banned that's expensive.
It's expensive in a different way in that it's mana intensive. You know what I mean?
I'm just thinking it could be busted very easily.
It's a busted card, but it's not broken.
And a Yorian deck
doesn't work because it's token. It just goes away.
No, I'm saying a Yorian deck with 70
cards.
Okay, You're starting with 80 cards.
Okay, yeah, so make it like a 73 or whatever. Yeah. Jesus. Okay. Yeah, I mean that's And again, there's ways to protect it, or like Steve is saying, play it in Battle of Wits.
Oh Jesus! So I do. I like the card. I'm glad they're. You know what? I'm fine with it. Fine with you.
It's another crazy Simic Mythic, but it's not like Oko Uro crazy Simic Mythic. It's like this is really cool. It's super powerful. It's like Hydrate Krasis.
The problem
only not quite as tramply.
I think if you had printed this 3 years ago, sure. But because of Arena now, because the testing is really being done by thousands upon hundreds of thousands of people, the reason I say that I could see this getting a ban is that there will be some way, whether it's historic or standard, it could be historic, but there will be some way to bust this out loud.
Oh, easy. I already know.
Yeah.
Body of research, and then Kazul's Fury or whatever it is, just fling it at your opponent.
Steve, you're wrong on this one, buddy.
It's expensive. I can see where he's coming from. It's expensive. It's hard to cast. But if you're playing like a teamer deck
in an emergent ultimatum world, it's hard to cast.
Well, but then you can just, like I said, you can just fling it.
Yeah. It's way too, I think. So I'm not saying it's definitely going to be. I could say definitely the two cards I could see getting targeted in this set right now would be this and Double Major, if anything. And I don't think anything will. But I was going to say if anything would, it's definitely going to be in Simic colors. I don't think there's anything out there in any other set that's gonna break standard. Or
I do hope that somebody does play like a teamer deck, cast this, and then flings it to their opponent.
This
that
has
would be
to
just hilarious.
This might get banned in Modern. I could see this.
No, hell no. Hell no.
All right.
Not even close. It costs 6 mana. In Modern, 6 mana, you won the game 3 turns ago.
Yeah. Well, but in Modern, you can ramp into it in 3.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
In Modern, the spells that cost 4 are the ones that win the game.
True. So, all right. Well, that's kind of our I'm apparently going pirate. Hey, Nick, how are you? That is definitely our Strixhaven preview for this set. So I don't know. Next week we're not going to preview next week. We're going to go into the Commander sets. So.
We can go to Commander. We can talk about more of the set next week.
Right.
I mean, there's time.
So, but I mean, like I said, so far Simic's just broken or what the hell is the name? I've already
got some good cards.
I've already forgot. Quackenbush. What the hell's the name of the house?
Quandrix.
Quandrix. Yeah, Quandrix.
Quandrix.
Look, it took me forever to learn Simic and Rakdos, and you can't make me learn 5 more.
I'm still trying to remember the wedges. So,
yeah, exactly. So, the other thing we wanted to talk about with regards to Strixhaven is there was some controversy with the art cards. We did touch on it last week, at least a little. Wizards did come out with a statement that basically said, we're not going to use this guy anymore, which I kind of love. I'm kind of like, so what you're saying is...
They suspended him for now.
Yeah.
They didn't say they would never use him again, but yeah.
Yeah. So what you're saying is, yeah, we screwed up, but we got to do something. Sorry, our bad.
Yeah,
we suck.
This was something that got past them, which seems to be happening a lot.
Oh.
The Mystical Archive art for Crux of Fate, the English version, the art was quite clearly
it was obvious.
Copy pasted.
It was obvious. Yeah.
The dude fessed up. He issued an apology on Twitter, and he said, I was under a lot of pressure to get a lot of work done. It's no excuse. I did this. I'm sorry. And he's going to give compensation, I think, to the artists who he stole from. But you know what?
I was under a deadline. That is literally your one fucking job.
Well, I can understand from just the aspect of he probably bit off more than he could chew, and was panicking. And said, shit, I got to get something in for this. It's due like now and I have nothing. Well, let me see what I can throw together. And did this. I don't excuse it. I'm glad he's getting punished. I feel like in this world, apologies are only given when you get caught.
Yeah.
So he apologized because he got caught. If he was really going to be honest about it, he would have never submitted the art in the first place.
Right.
But I can understand where that's coming from. I don't condone it. I don't forgive it. But I can understand where his mind might have been.
Exactly. My thinking is, I blame him. Okay, here's the thing. I'm much more of a writing type person. I'm not really, I draw and I doodle and do all this crazy stuff, but as far as my expression and artwork go, I consider myself something of a writer. And the worst thing a writer can do is plagiarize.
Same thing with any art form. The worst thing you can do is plagiarize.
And so, one of my favorite movies, as far as that goes, is Shattered Glass, where it talks about Stephen Glass. Which, when this happened in the early 2000s, I was fascinated. Basically, this is this reporter for this. It's funny because it was starring Hayden Christensen. It was the New Republic, but it was for the New Republic, and basically, this reporter got found out that he had been just fake, not just plagiarizing, because that he didn't do that so much as he was just faking articles. Like he was just like making shit up and writing about it. It was the craziest, nuttiest stuff. And watching the walls close in around him until he finally, fesses up and admits, what he did and stuff. I couldn't help thinking about that when I was hearing what was happening with this artist, is that it wasn't until the walls started circling that you decided, hey, I gotta, I gotta fess up and I gotta take my comeuppance and things like that and go on the apology tour. I'm sorry. Like, he shouldn't be suspended. He should be fired. He should be trounced out of the art world altogether. They should be going through every piece of artwork he's ever done.
I mean, from this point on, anything he produces is going to get scrutinized a whole hell of a lot more, and he'll have a lot harder time getting new work.
Right.
I am glad that he apologized and fessed up, but again, it just sucks that it took him getting caught.
Literally, he's going to be teaching two-dimensional art at New York City College in a week, and he's going to be doing it saying, as the hard luck case, because that's the only job he's going to get, is because they'll be like, you got fired for, like, copying. You want to be a teacher and tell people not to do it now, and we're only going to pay you a tenth of what we should. Yes, absolutely.
So, yeah.
This is my job.
So he is absolutely paying a price for this, but, I mean, sorry, you did it.
Yeah.
So
I feel no, and it's hard because I'm a very, very forgiving person. Like, I'm somebody,
and I'm sure he's like generally probably a nice guy. I'm sure he is.
Yeah.
Whatever.
There are some people out there, like, obviously I'm not talking about the Bill Cosbys, Kevin Spacey, Harvey Weinstein types. Those people should fall off the planet. But there are a few people out there that we've kind of made go away in the last 5-6 years that I'm like, you know what? If they apologize, maybe let them come back. But no, I'm sorry. I've got no.
I mean, maybe he can eventually work his way back, but it's going to take a long time. It's going to take a lot of work from him, and he's going to have to really, scrub the bottom of the barrel for a long time. And unfortunately, that's just where we are as a society.
You called into question your artistic ethics, which means you don't have any. No, I'm sorry. You're out. You're out. It's time for you to start working a new job. Sizzler is hiring. But, that being said, I mean, he did get, but Wizards, I think, is also culpable in this. Wizards should absolutely be doing better. It is not hard to scan something and say, hey, is there anything in our archives that's similar to this? There's 1,000 programs that do it. Google knows where I am yesterday at 4:00 because they've got my face somewhere. Like, you can't tell me that there isn't a program they could have done for this. They were also culpable. And I'm sorry.
I blame that on them putting out 13 sets a year.
Yeah.
I blame that on them chasing, the almighty dollar, which, capitalist society.
I love it.
Fine.
Don't get me wrong. I'm all about capitalism.
But
yay, capitalism.
It's not the only goof that they did with this set, though, either.
No, of course not. There's the misnamed cards. There's the Japanese stuff that's going. I mean, it's just.
Yeah. So for those of you who aren't aware of this, if you're collecting if you're collecting the Mystical Archive cards, the Japanese ones, the art for ephemerae and memory lapse were swapped during development and not corrected. So the art is wrong on both of those cards. Plus, there was a mistake on one of the preview cards showing the wrong mana cost, which is apparently going to be the correct mana cost on the printed card, but there wasn't enough time for them to do it for the preview. And it's, guys, slow down.
Well, it's, what? Wrong art on the card. How bad is it going to be? Just read the card. Oh, wait, it's in Japanese.
Unless you read Japanese, in which case, awesome.
Ah, salute, yeah. So, here's the thing. So, the last thing we wanted to talk about this before we go into main 2, which will be we are just going to speed through that. Overall impression of the set. So, the impression of it that I have is pretty much.
I'm sorry I don't do impressions. My training is in psychiatry.
I know. But it's good. It's going to be the most powerful set I think we have once Throne rotates out. I think this is going to be the set that a lot of other sets are built upon because of the 2-color setup. I don't know what's going to... And now, again, I don't know what's going to happen with the D&D set. I don't know what's going to happen with Innistrad. But for the most part, looking at this set, when Throne of Eldraine rotates out and we're left with Kaldheim and Forward, or wait, is it just Kaldheim? Yeah, it's Kaldheim, right? Kaldheim Forward.
Kaldheim Forward, yep.
This is going to be the set that's going to be, other than the Rogues. All right, Dimir Rogues will still be a damn set. But, I can't see this is going to be good. But I mean, again, it's a Throne of Eldraine world. And so do I see things in this unseating some of the Throne of Eldraine stuff? No. How do you unseat adventures? How do you unseat rogues? You know, I do think, though, that once rotation happens, this will be the foundation for Standard in the late 21 into 22. What about you?
My impressions of the set, I love the art. I think the set was very well put together. I think it's powerful. I'm glad that we were wrong about the Phyrexian Praetors. There is no Jin-Gitaxias in this set, which was heavily rumored, which is great. So they sort of leave that thread hanging for a later time.
Right.
There was an initial rumor that, hey, maybe the Eldrazi are involved in this because there's floating rocks, sort of look like Hedrons. Nope. Looks like Kozilek's thing. No, sorry. The art is fantastic. We were talking about this before the show. I have the art of one of the cards, Dina Soul Steeper, behind me. It's like, I don't know, just like there's something about her eyes that it's just like you get transfixed by them. I think the art in this set is just absolutely fantastic. They've done a really good job with it. I love the way they broke down the colors into the schools. They made it Harry Potter-ish without making it Harry Potter-ish. You can see the references, but if you don't know much about the world, you can sort of just say, oh, this is just a cool thing, and saying, oh, they stole that from Harry Potter. Because like me, I've never read the books, never saw the movies. So to me, this is just a beautifully put together set about a world where there happen to be 5 schools of magic under the umbrella of one larger college.
Yeah. I was a big fan of the Crux of Fate art myself. But yeah, I don't think they needed the Harry Potter angle. And again, I have a feeling you and I might be more right than, because some of this stuff I can see through the lens of Harry Potter, like especially the arena. Like,
Yeah.
and the arena looks like a Quidditch arena. That
Mage Tower.
Yeah. I'm wondering now if they didn't go to Warner Brothers and say, hey, we're going to do this universe beyond thing, and we'd love Harry Potter to be the first one we do. And then Warner Brothers is like, yeah, let's talk about it. Let's have a conversation. And in good faith, they start designing things because it's a year and a half out. And then all of a sudden, Warner Brothers is like, wait, how much? No, what? You know what? We're going to just go make Zack Snyder's Justice League for $70 million. Talk to you later. Sorry. And then all of a sudden they're like, what the hell we do now? We make a college. And we go out of our way to say it's a college, not a school, and not a house.
But and even if that was even true, they did a hell of a good job. I think the set looks fantastic.
They did. Again, why not just say it's the Izzet College? Why not just say it's the Civic College? Why do I got to learn 5 new nonsense words?
Because it's not Ravnica.
But we've always called it, and everybody will. In a year's time, nobody's going to call them by Lorehold or anything else. It's going to be Boros. So
yeah, well, those worlds are more established. But before the guilds, though, it's just called white-blue. It's called black-red. You know?
Right, I know. So with that, let's get into combat. But Steve and Anthony are vaping, so we have fog. So let's go to main 2.
Main phase.
All right, so the state of standard. Main phase this is where we like to talk about the state of standard. Not much has changed. There's not been a ton of movement. Except that according to MTG Goldfish, mono red aggro has moved to the top.
By a 1/10%. Come on.
By a 1/10%. But hey, it's better than
two decks. 768 decks. There's a 2 deck difference between first and second place.
Yep.
Come on. It's a tie.
I love mono
Statistically,
red,
it's a tie.
I would have thought, the one thing I find surprising is that after the Kaldheim Championship win, I would have thought Dimir Rogues would move up. But it does seem that, well, mono red just does get around it, but Temur ramp as well. People are really finding the ultimatums. They're like, let's use these damn ultimatums for something before they rotate out. And it's doing all right. So
Standard's still in a good spot.
Standard is in a very good spot. It's a little boring. I'm looking forward to seeing Strixhaven kind of rejuvenate the format.
From a content creator perspective, I hate that it's boring. From a player perspective, thank you, Wizards.
Oh, jeepers, yeah. After the year of bannings.
Oh my God.
And it's definitely black red. Black-Red Arcanist. So Historic is about to break. Well, if they break it, then
They'll fix it.
They'll fix
Historic's
it.
easy to fix.
The Arcanist. He thinks the Arcanist is a good card there, Aramis. So, I definitely, I'm still playing Mono Red. I'm still playing Best of 3 because I'm gold again. So I was Diamond. I always get to like Diamond 2 or 1, and then I go on this worst skid of my life.
Well, yeah, because you're facing up against players that are going to Mythic all the time.
Yeah, so definitely worthwhile. I want to also talk about, of the other state of standard is Arena. Arena's got some stuff going on. They have opened up the Vintage Cube. So they brought back Aramis's favorite format, which is, hey, let's do a draft, but with bonker broken badass cards.
Well, it's not Vintage Cube on NTGO. It's
Right.
Arena Cube, so it's nowhere near the same power level. I'm glad that they bring this back.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the day that they do full-on, real, actual, factual Vintage Cube on Arena. I think that day is still coming.
Yes. So it's worthwhile. I mean, you do have to pay to play. It's definitely, it's not part of the free queue. But if you have enough...
That would be nice.
Here's the thing. I've figured it out. You know why this is there, right? Because I think you can use coins for this too, right?
That's a lot of coins, but yes.
Yeah. Well, why would they want you to use a lot of coins 3 weeks before?
Although
Strixhaven?
it's actually slightly cheaper because it's Phantom.
Yeah. So, but 3 weeks before Strixhaven.
Yeah, spend all your money.
Yeah, basically that's what they're doing. So, but definitely worthwhile. Finally, again, we want to remind you guys before we go to End Step, don't forget Wednesday night, CommanderCraft, man. It's me, Aramis, probably Anthony and Steve, because we haven't had those guys in a while. Going to be playing Commander. I'm running a Calamax deck. I got to get the deck list together, but dude, I haven't had 10 minutes to sit down and put it in. But definitely going to be a lot of fun Wednesday night. And you never know, game 1, we might seed a new listener. If you're a listener and you want to play Commander, reach out to us on the Discord. And we'll tell you how to do that in our End Step.
End Step.
So we want to remind you guys, as we're rolling up our playmats, putting our cards back in the boxes and taking the pizza boxes over to the trash, because damn it, your mother still doesn't work in this game store. We want to remind you guys that we do have a Twitch channel where we stream all sorts of content. You can look up the PlanesTalkers podcast on Twitch. You go there. You can also follow me on Twitch. I'm at Mindcrime73. Yes, I like Queensryche. Somebody's like, is that the Queensryche Mindcrime? I'm like, what the hell? You don't know any? You know any others? What?
I had no idea.
Yeah. Oh well, Operation Mindcrime was a children. This is your moment. Operation Mindcrime was a progressive heavy metal album put out by the band Queensryche in the year 1987, and it was amazing. And if you've never listened to it, you owe it to yourself to listen to it. Now back to End Step.
So anyway, yeah. Twitch, that's all our Twitch stuff there. If you want to interact with us more in a real-time fashion, you can join our Discord. We mentioned it earlier in the show. It's discord.planestalkerspodcast.com. Active community there. Anytime
Especially
we stream
now, we are getting ready for the winter box. So
if you want to play in the winter box, you have to sign up to our Discord. So
yeah, I'm getting
discord.planestalkerspodcast.com. Anytime we stream, the chat usually gets filtered through Discord. So if you want to follow all of it there, you can go there to look at that. It's a nice active community, a lot of friendly folks. But if Twitter is more your speed, you want to follow the show that way. We usually send out tweets to notify you when we're going live, maybe an occasional tweet here and there for other issues related to the game. You can find us at PlanesTalkerPod on Twitter.
And I am also on Twitter. I don't tweet a ton, but you can follow me at WR Benson. I'm just out there basically to follow everyone. But definitely go check it out there. So I'd love to follow, but I tend to just be kind of quiet and really only tweet very rarely. Of course, you can and should follow us on Facebook. That is also one way we interact with you. Just go to facebook.com/PlanesTalker, not PlanesTalkers. We took that last S off for savings. And because some numbnuts took the name before we could. And like and follow our page there. Also, don't forget, we do have a playcast. We call it CommanderCraft. Wednesday night, 7 Eastern, right around there. Aramis and I and 2 listeners will throw Commander cards on a table. We play Paper Commander. So we use webcams and microphones, and it's amazing. It's the best thing ever. and you should do it because we want you to.
Finally, if you want to send the show,
hit, by the way, just
oh
FYI.
yeah, I was thinking that. I was figuring as much.
I no longer can think on my feet.
Braden, no good. Think more.
Pretty soon, I won't be able to stand on my feet.
Oh Jesus. Anyway, if you want to send the show an email and let one, both, or all of us know about Will's rampant alcoholism, you can send us
It's only
an
rampant
email
during the
show.
podcast, sir.
Only during the podcast, yeah. There's 3 places you can send us emails, just in case we lose one because someone may have accidentally deleted it because, the IPA hit them a little too hard. I'm not going to mention names, Will. But, yeah, so first email address goes to both of us. It's podcast@planestalkerspodcast.com. If you want to email Will personally to tell him to lay off the sauce, damn it, it's will@planestalkerspodcast.com. And if you want to email me to let me know how scared you are for Will, my email address is aramis@planestalkerspodcast.com. So send us emails, talk to us about the show, suggest beers to Will. He might actually listen.
Actually, I've had that more than once, and I love it. If you send me a beer suggestion, I will. Did I just say suggestion? Oh, jeepers. I said suggestion.
I'm gonna tell you about.
Below
no,
3
I want to
syllables.
talk for. I want to talk for. I'm talking. I'm the one talking.
Yeah. I have to stay below 3 syllables. Anything over 3 syllables, and I could go straight to hell. But if I stay below 3 syllables, I'm golden. So anyway, we also want to remind you guys that I host another podcast. It deals with the television show DC's Legends of Tomorrow, and it's called Legends TV Talk. Now it's on hiatus, obviously, because the show's on hiatus, but you can find our old episodes anywhere you get podcasts. Find us on Facebook at Legends TV Talk. And we also want to remind you before we leave that, not everyone can be a patron. And we understand that in this economy and in the way things are, we are totally understanding about that. But if you really want to help the show, what you can do is go to iTunes. All right. So, hey, Will, I don't have an Apple phone. Okay. Do you have a computer? No. Well, crap. I don't know what to do then. But if you have a computer, if you have a Windows computer, download iTunes to your computer, sign up for an account, find our show in the podcast section, leave us a review, preferably 5 stars. That really goes a long way to bringing visibility to the show. Believe it or not, we are on the first page if you go looking for standard MTG podcasts because people have put in reviews. The more reviews we have, the higher we'll go up in the ratings. And of course, feel free to let us know you put them in, send us an email, or and then end the review, because I just want to see all the reviews end with this. That Will is one handsome man. Feel free to put that into the reviews. I think it's important. So my wife is shaking her head. So with that, we want to thank you guys very much for listening, hanging out with us tonight. We had a good time. We will be back Wednesday with CommanderCraft at 7 p.m. Eastern. Don't forget that show, and be back next Monday with the wonderful podcast you're listening to now. So for Aramis Perez, this is Will Benson again saying thank you for listening, thank you for interacting, and reminding you to always leave some of your mana untapped because you never know when you'll need it. Take care and have a good one. Bye-bye. And we're out. Yeah,
what,
that
94?
just 94. That just hit me. I was like, whoa, hello. I was not prepared for that. I've been living in double and triple land for a very long time. For something to sneak up on me like that takes some work. So, fun time had by none. Yes, we are episode 94.
All right. Sending it to the Dropbox. So, what mana am I using on Wednesday?
You're going to use Kerwin's. So, I'll use ours, and then the week after you use ours, and I'll use Kerwin's. So, right. I do like how that idea, man. It's kind of cool, So
it plugs both at the same time.
Yeah,
I figure out what deck I'm going to play.
Well, yeah, and I mean we could talk about this off air, but I don't mind putting it on here. Steve contacted me earlier in the week, and he was like, he wants to formalize things. He's like, he's going to send us some stuff. So he's like, just because he's not involved in the day to day. I'm like, that's fine. Do we still get a Strixhaven box to give to a listener? He's like, yeah. I'm like, okay. So, oh my goodness. Oh, Steve, Jesus. That's a country song. I'm really sorry, buddy. I really am.
It's congratulations. Hope she pulls out, and I'm sorry.
Yeah.
At the same time, that is, you're going through a lot, bud.
Yeah. Well, the only ones listening to this part are the ones on the video. So yeah, take a look at the chat window, guys. I mean, yeah, keep Steve in your prayers because that's wow. Started a new job, lady in the hospital, grandma passed. The only way it could be more of a country song is if the truck broke down.
I mean, that was sort of like my year last year, but
yeah,
you got that all in a week. That's insane, dude.
Yeah.
Hang in there.
All right, I'm gonna open one of these Kaldheim packs while we're sitting here waiting for stuff to come down. So, did you open
If you
yours?
get a Boring Collect, send it to me.
Huh?
If you get a Boring Collect, send it to me.
Oh, if I get a Boring, yeah, because that'll be my third.
Okay, so Steve, that means you pissed somebody off in the world of karma. I don't know who, but you
Egon. Why does that piss somebody off in the world of karma?
His car died last week too.
Jesus! All right, that is a country song. Yeah, but you're in New York City. How do you even have a car?
Well,
Goldspan Dragon. So that's my fifth one.
of course it's your fifth. Yes, I have everything.
Stop it. It ain't like that.
I have 0.
You haven't gotten any Goldspans?
Nope.
You've opened like 3 boxes, haven't you?
Yep. No gold spans, no Vorinclex.
Jogger Necromancer, that's like my 9th. He's like the common rare.
I think I have 3.
Really? I've had to open more boxes than you then, I guess.
You must have.
I must have. Mountain, Turn to Slag, Hooded Blightfang. That's not bad.
Like I opened one of the cards I opened here in one of the call time packs was Bergie. That's only the second one, and I opened my first one last week.
Wow.
So
Bloodfell Caves, Solemn Simulacrum. Yeah. Well, I need it for my Golos deck, so I should put him aside.
Always good to have sad robots.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. That's the deck I'm building. Never mind.
Okay, you got Golos.
That's the next deck. I'm building a Golos.
Oh, that's right. I forgot that, Steve, you're in Queens.
Yeah.
Are you near Corona, Queens, or?
Do you drink Corona in Queens?
My grandfather was from Corona.
You're kidding.
Yep.
Oh, Whitestone.
Whitestone, okay.
Wow. So this was a good show, I think. Strixhaven, man, I love pre-release.
Our preview shows are the best shows.
Yeah. Oh, I should have mentioned the new website.
Womp womp.
I meant to mention the new website. We did put up a new website, everybody. Oh, dude. And our live show goes on the website. Our live show's live on the website.
Nice.
Oh, that is nice. Okay. That's cool. All right. I like that. Yeah, we put up a brand new website last week, and it's looking... I just wanted something a little more, a little more up to date than Anchor.
Yeah, that's cool.
So, granted, it's just a GoDaddy one page, but it does it.
It doesn't matter. It's nice. It looks nice. I like it.
All right, so that's good. All right, so Wednesday, what are you playing, sir?
I don't know yet. I'm not going to do the gauntlet this week.
No, I imagine not.
Maybe I'll play Traxos.
Ooh. Yeah, I'm going to try to have my second deck ready to go if I can get the... I'm either going to have the black deck done or I'm going to have Golos. One of the two. Well,
or maybe a Rick Smithies. I haven't played a Rick Smithies in a while.
Golos is easy, though, because I just have to tear apart most of the Omnath deck.
Yeah,
really, if you look at the Golos deck, it's Omnath.
But it's putting everything back in when you want to play Omnath again. That's the problem.
Well, there's not much to pull out because, all I'm doing is adding some black. Like, believe it or not, if you take a look at the Golos deck list on EDH Rec and Omnath, they're kind of the same freaking deck except Commander and Omnath's one of the 5. Or one of the 99. So, because I could play Omnath in a 99, right? It just can't be my commander.
I think so, yeah. I didn't think about that.
And the four of us, you know what? When we do our meeting Saturday, if it's Steve and Anthony, then we'll also talk about, like what do we want to change on CommanderCraft this year in the rules? I do like the three, the 3 wins and you're out.
Mhm.
But
For the season, at least, yeah.
Yeah. So, for the season or 4 weeks, whichever's longer. Like, I'm not going to play Omnath again for at least 2 more weeks into the season. So,
Well, the season ends in 2 weeks anyway.
yeah, exactly. So that's 4 weeks. So, but yeah. All right, mine is finally done. I think I got to reboot this computer.
That should be done.
Yeah. My Mac's having a problem with the power supply. I've been noticing, like the AC adapter. So I've got to figure that out because the Mac is how I edit the show. So
Right.
it might be. I might not get it out today. I may get it out tomorrow. But we're good to go. Anything else going on?
Not really, no.
All right.
Just,
Well, then let's end the show here for now, and then you and I could always talk offline here in a minute. Guys, we'll be back Wednesday again. If you're a listener and you wanna play with us on Wednesday, and you have a webcam and a commander deck, you're welcome. Let us know. Hit our Discord. Otherwise, we're gonna play Steve and Anthony, which would just be nice to have the core 4 back for a game. So, all right, guys, we'll see you later. Have a good week. Thanks for hanging. Bye-bye.